If you are a mother, a father, a guardian, or you're intending to be a parent, then I would advise you watch this video from the beginning till the end. Hi, my name is Rita, and on this page I'll be documenting my life experiences and journey through marriage, divorce, parental style, mental health journey, and so on and so forth. And if all this I have mentioned resonates with you, then this is the place to be. A few days back, I dropped a bombshell, and it has got people talking. My DM is full with questions. A lot of people want to know how I ended up marrying a wrong person. They want to know how I ended up in the hand of a wrong man, because they said back then they've known me to be very laid back, very quiet, reserved, and a good girl. So how did you end up marrying a wrong person? Just calm down, guys. In this video, I'll try to summarize and explain how and why I ended up marrying the wrong person. I wanted to be married so quick. I wanted to be married so bad. 13 years ago, I was still in my early 20s, so there was no reason whatsoever for me to want to rush into marriage, but I wanted to get married so bad. You know, I've asked myself the same question several times, done my research, questioned myself, thought about it, but I still end up having the same answer. I had serious low self-esteem. I had serious low self-esteem. Serious low self-esteem. And you might want to wonder, how did you end up having low self-esteem? Guys, two reasons. There are just two reasons how I ended up having low self-esteem. Number one is bullying. Number two, parental, that's my upbringing, the way I was being brought up by my parents. I'll start with bullying. Parents, you need to do better. You need to teach your children how to leave other people's children alone. You need to teach your children how to have grace. The way other people's children eat, dress, walk, whatever is none of your business. It's none of your children's business. You need to teach your children how to be kind to other people's children. Because the way you talk to them, the way you bully them might affect them later in the future. I'll leave that for now. I was bullied. I was bullied in primary school. I was bullied in secondary school. But the worst of them all, the one that broke the camel's back, according to Oyibo, the worst was my university days. I was bullied back in school. I'm very, very sure some of the people that bullied me will see this video and be watching this video. I'm in a better place now. I'm at a better place now. I'm okay now. I'm not hurting anymore. I've forgiven you guys. But, God, I was bullied. I was bullied for wearing recommended glasses. I was bullied for the way I smelled. I was bullied for the kind of clothes I wore. I was bullied for the way I walked. I was bullied for coming from an average family or from a poor family. I was bullied because my parents were able to afford my university fees, you know, coming from an average family or poor family, but I still attended a private school. I was bullied for that. I felt so low. I felt like trash. I felt useless. I felt worthless. I felt I wasn't supposed to be surviving. I felt I didn't deserve anything good. Yeah. That was why I wanted to get married. So I was thinking probably if I get married, my husband will give me shelter or will give me some sort of confidence. You know, my husband will be my backbone. My husband will be my mouthpiece. My husband will be able to talk for me. You know, I felt when I start answering misses and people know I'm married, they'll be like, okay, at least she's married. I'll get some kind of respect. My husband can talk for me. But I was wrong. In fact, I ended up in the wrong person's hand, and it made the whole low self-esteem worse. In fact, it made me worse and made me bad. It has worked for some people. They had low self-esteem, got married to a good man that boosted their esteem a little bit high, and you know, worked on their self-esteem, and they became somebody better. But mine, I fell in the wrong hands, and it made everything worse. I was bullied. In fact, I was bullied to the extent that good men were coming for me. Like literally, I knew they were good men, handsome men. But I felt, no, I don't deserve a fine boy, or I don't deserve a handsome man. They are too good for me. As in, they are too good for me. I don't deserve them. That was how worthless I felt of myself. I was bullied. Parents, we need to do better. Teach your children to be kind. You need to do better. Parents, we need to work on our kids. We need to do better. When you hear your children bullying other people, you correct them immediately, because it can do them great harm in the future and you never can tell. Number two, parental upbringing. The way my parents brought me up, guys. I love my parents so much. I love them. They are my everything. In fact, both of them are late now. I lost my dad and I recently lost my mom. So I'm an orphan now. I forgive my parents. I forgive them. I love them so much. I don't resent them in any form or any way. I love them so much. In fact, because of the way especially my mom, because of the way I was being brought up, especially my mom, I was not very close to my mom. It was just recently I started, you know, becoming close to my mother when I grew up and, you know, more matured and I knew better. I just realized that was the best way, you know, for her to train me, and she was just doing her best, you know, to give me a good life to the best of her knowledge. So I forgive her and I'm okay with that. I love her so much. But my upbringing, my mother was very strict. My mommy did not give me breathing space at all. She was very tough with me, especially my mom. I was not allowed to have friends. I was not allowed to go out. I was not allowed to breathe. Anytime she sees me with a boy, she begins to think the worst of me. She begins to think the worst of me. She calls me all manner of names. She beats the hell out of me. I was not allowed to go out. I was not allowed to make mistake. Parents, you need to allow your children breathe. I am not going to train my children the way my mother trained me or the way my parents brought me up. No, I will not do that. I will never do that. I know better. You need to let your children breathe. You need to let your children breathe. Even if they are going to make mistake, let them learn from their mistake. Let them learn from their mistake. I didn't flex. How will I call it now? I didn't have friends. I didn't go out. I was not allowed to go out. Before you go out, they will ask you all sorts of questions. They will not even allow you go out at all. I wasn't allowed to do anything. I don't know how I'm going to call it. Like, you guys understand, the upbringing was very, very tight. I was suffocating. I wanted to leave the house. And the only way I could do that was through marriage. I wanted to be free. I wanted to be free. I wanted to be free like a bird. I wanted to be able to make my own decisions. I wanted to be able to go out without having to answer to anybody. I wanted to be able to do things by myself. And the only thing that would give me that was marriage. Though I was in my early 20s, I was an adult, but my parents were not having it. My mom was not having it. She was still beating me. She would insult me. She must not see me with a guy. She must not see me with a man. She would beat the hell out of me. So I wanted to be free. And the only way I could achieve this was through marriage. It was just through marriage. So at that point in time, my ex was the only one available that just came and was like, Rita, I like you. I'm like, immediately he said, I like you. I said, will you marry me? Yeah. I said, I don't want to do boyfriend and girlfriend. What I want is marriage. If you don't want marriage, you move. Then he said, yes, I want marriage. I said, okay, fine. Since you want marriage, fine, let's go for it. And that was how we started. I dated this man for 1 year and 6 months. I saw the red banner, but I was scared of being alone. I was scared of being on my own. I was like, who will marry me? If I leave now, who will marry me? Remember, I had low self-esteem. So I was lucky to meet somebody that would say, okay, come, Rita, I want to marry you. I felt I was lucky. Do you understand? I felt I was lucky. He had his flaws. So I'm like, okay, you have your flaws. I have my flaws. We match. Other guys that were perfect were coming for my hand in marriage. They wanted to date me and be in a relationship with me. I was like, no, they were too good for me. I had my flaws and they didn't have flaws. I felt I wasn't good for them, or they were too good for me, so I didn't go for them. So when he came, I saw the red banner and the red flags and everything. And I also had my flaws. I felt, okay, I have low self-esteem, so we can match together. So I felt he was the person I deserved. That was how I ended up with him.